I did speak to many seniors of mine who have already got into the corporate and did understand how the process is. But coming from a fraternity or the community where we were, closely networked to an open domain, and also the knowledge which we had gained in the last 10 years, applying those knowledge to corporate was little difficult.
First of all, Sainki, can you introduce yourself and give some background about what you were doing, what have you studied, and what career are you in?
So I've done my bachelor's in electrical and electronics engineering. Then I've done my master's and subsequently completed my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. As part of this journey, I've been in defense. I was there in Indian Navy for 10 years, and post which I did transition to corporate very recently. So in the 10 years, although I was part of defense, I did handle many, I was there as an electrical officer. And as part of that, I used to handle systems and use my knowledge of as an electrical engineering here in the defense. So I was coming out of defense to corporate. So during which I was thinking of, this transition, and that's how I wanted a mentor who is already well settled in the corporate and trying to find out the various platforms which are there in the market. So that's how I ended up in Preplaced, wherein it did have the options for me to select the mentor as per the skills or the domain which I want to join, and that's where this entire process went.
Got it. So, can you give us like little bit of background on why you wanted to switch to corporate? Like, what exactly type of role were you looking for, and what was your goal?
So when I started, it was like I did speak to many seniors of mine who have already got into the corporate and did understand how the process is. But coming from a fraternity or the community where we were, closely networked to an open domain, and also the knowledge which we had gained in the last 10 years, applying those knowledge to corporate was little difficult because the jargons altogether were different, and the skills which we were working on is completely different. So I homed on to few of the skills and the key areas where I could fit in, and that's how I started upskilling myself. Whilst I was doing the upskilling process, I wanted someone who would be able to tell me, okay, this is the right process from the corporate perspective. So that's how I went and chose a project manager role, which was much more aligned to what I was doing in the defense, which was majorly contributing to various projects and culminating it in limited or time frame. So that's how I chose my mentor, who was there into the project role for almost 18 years, and yes, that's how the journey started.
Got it. So, when was this timeline? Like, when did you first think that you want to switch to corporate?
So this call I had taken in 2019, I would say. Yes, 2019. And subsequently, we do have an option that if we want to continue, we can extend for 2 more years and subsequently 2 more. But I thought 2023 is the right time for me because it was giving it was as per my plan, which if I would have completed 10 years, then it was a perfect age as well as time to learn and unlearn few things. So I thought it's better to go out early and explore the world which is there out.
Got it. So in 2023, did you start upskilling, or were you like sort of from 2019 when you made up your mind, okay, this is what I want to do? You started upskilling with different things, or how was it?
So I have, 2020 was a place wherein I would say for entire world it was shut down, and even at our place the things were not moving initially. So I thought, why don't I take this opportunity to learn a few of the corporates things which were there. So I did my PMP in 2020 itself, and subsequently started preparing for my MBA also. So from 2020 to 22 I've completed my MBA, and but the journey had started then itself, because I had made up my mind and tried understanding. Although I did try many things in this journey, but ultimately I am now settled in corporate with Scrum Master's role. So I would say that this journey had been started from 2019, yes, ended up in 23. So it did take some time.
Got it. So when you started doing all those things, you also did your MBA, and after that, how did it go from there? Like when you had started gaining your skills, you also did MBA. You must have like got a lot of skills, and you were ready to go and switch your job. Then what was the things that happened after that?
So after completing my MBA, although the MBA did give me an insight about how the management, skills would be, and various tools on which I did work, case studies, but I was not pretty confident in 23 because of the slowdown which was there in the market. And when I went out and started explaining people that this is how I come up with, this is what the skills I have, and this is my key areas. So people did appreciate it, but it did not give an end result. So I thought a project manager role in because I was aiming for an IT industry or any banking industries wherein I could have that hybrid culture, so that I can give a time to myself in preparing further aspects also. So it was not aligning with it, because the entire industry started moving from project manager roles to Scrum Master's role. So that is when in 2023 I did align my entire thoughts again after completing of MBA, that I should probably prepare for what is there in this Scrum Master which is new in the industry. So I should do that. What about the agile methodology? How the entire industry is trying to orient towards it. So I did start making my entire journey towards the Scrum Master, and that's how landed up there.
When did you feel the need to take a mentor, and why?
It was during this phase itself, I would say, because this industry was when I went into the industry and told about my experience. It was really difficult for people in industry to first understand what I am coming with, because I was trying through a lateral entry. There are various programs which are run by corporate. When I say about say it is veterans transition programs or veterans internship programs which are already there, but those were not in line with, or not falling as in line with what I was coming out with. Let's suppose my plan was to come out in the June, but the programs were either too early or either too late. So those were not falling in that plan. And when I started discussing with people, yes, the slowdown was there. There was firing which was going on. There was freeze which was there. So I wanted someone who had the experience, who had already seen all this. So I thought, why don't I choose a mentor who would be able to guide me to the through this journey, and make me at least be there behind me, who will be holding me and pushing me in case if I require, and aligning where other things were going wrong. Although the perspective of veterans was there from my various peers who were already there in the industry, but corporate side nobody was holding that hand. So that's where I thought that I should have someone. So
So when you decided, okay, that I want to have a mentor, and after that, how did you like figure it out? How did you even come to know about Preplaced?
Started searching. I had around a couple of other platforms also. I did go to that. There were platforms which were offering mentorship for free. There were platforms which were offering for some subscription base, and they had their own plan, like what Preplace is also having. So the problem with other platforms versus Preplaced, I would say, is first, there is good CRM team, or the it does have good feedback mechanism. If I am stuck somewhere, or I need to align my times with something else, so there is a point of contact who I can approach. Second, I found I did try the other mentorship platform, but the timings were not matching. Either the people who, on that platform were not very much from India, they were completely from other countries, so the timings was not matching, and the kind of mentorship which I needed was not there. It was like one of a time, and again you have to book a slot for after a couple of weeks. So it was not a complete plan. So it was free, but it was not complete plan which I was expecting. Preplace did have an option of booking it on that page, plan with your mentor, chat, and many other features were there which were good for me and as per my requirement. So that's how I went for Preplace, and it did have people. I did try. It has a free trial feature also, which did give you an option to have 101 with one mentor. If you're okay with it, then only you can go ahead with a subscription. So that was good part of Preplace.
Got it. Great. So after that, like, what was the name of the mentor? And you mentioned that he had 18 years of experience, so you went ahead with that. Like, was there any other reason for choosing him?
Well, as I told you that I did go for other, try for other mentors also. So I did have someone with 5 years of experience also, someone with 10 years experience. So specifically telling about the mentor whom I chose was Saumya Dey, and he has a very very vast experience in industry, which is about 18 plus, if I'm not wrong, and that too in IBM, wherein he started off with being a system analyst, and subsequently moving up the ladder to delivery lead, which is wide around 18 years of experience. He knew that particular company in and out, and also has very good connect with others who are there, because he has seen people coming in that company and going out, and he has that network of if in case if I tell him that I am trying for this company, and if you have some connect. So he did give me that referral for a couple of companies, although that their expectations were also different, but yes, from his side, he whatever he could do, he was doing it. So that's how I was lucky to have Saumya when it comes to as a mentor. And here I would want to say that the way in which he had planned, first he understood my requirement, right? So although everybody did it, but here he had a set plan that what are my weak areas, because he also is PMP, and I did do my certification. So he knew that in PMP, if it is to be pushed as a project manager somewhere, then what are the key areas? He knew the right questions where I have to know the answers, and those questions were not easily available on Google. I must say that he is coming directly from person who is experienced. So it did help me a lot. He made me prepare for my interviews when it comes to understanding how you have to crack one, and knew my weak areas if I have to prepare for it, and completely had been behind me with assignments that you have to complete this for the next session, so that, and he also did his preparations when he used to come for these sessions. So I was happy to have him as a mentor. Lucky that I got him, and would feel happy if people would approach him, because he has been the right mentor.
Amazing, amazing. So, what was the duration of mentorship that you took with him?
I took around a month of mentorship of with Saumya. I did think of going ahead for a couple of more months, but it was, as I told you, right? I did try for companies, and I knew I was coming out in the month of June, and I had to complete all this process of doing the transition of finding a right company by at least by May, so that I have a month to prepare and understand, okay, this is where I am going. So I did approach Preplaced. So I've been searching for other mentors also, so it did take some time. In March, if I'm not wrong, I started with Preplaced, and by April I ended up with Preplaced. I mean, sorry, the program. So that's how I did it.
Got it, got it. So, inside the mentorship, right? So you mentioned that Saumya used to do his own preparations, used to give you assignments, also probably would have motivated you in multiple places. So what was that 1 month like? Like, if you break it down, what was the things that happening throughout it?
If you're asking about like how
like what different sessions, like where did you used to meet almost every day, or you used to chat? Because like mentorship is quite subjective area
yeah.
So how did it go, and how was it personalized to your requirements?
So just to admit, I am if I'm not wrong, it was for 2 months. So I took 2 months plan, and March, April, May. Yes, this were the 2 months wherein I thought of going with him. So it was completely 2 months plan, which I went with him. And when I was doing all this, specifically, as I told you, that he understood the requirement first. So from day one, he knew that what are the various sessions I have to plan. So he discussed with me which would be my 2 months dates which were there, because as per Preplaced, it is around 5 to 6 sessions, and it depends and varies about as per the mentors how many sessions they decide. So he was clear that I would first see your resume, because for him it is like I was coming from a defense background, and that has to have the key skills or key notes which have to be accepted by people in the industry, and that has to orient with the JDs. So he saw my resume, prior filtering that, has had a plan of how I present when someone is asking about myself, and that was my couple of sessions which we had planned, and that was within the first week itself. So first week, let's suppose in a week there are 2 sessions. In the second session, he would say when we can plan the next. So we have a common mutual understanding that this is the date and this is the timing. In case there is any change of plan, then we discuss it offline, or there is a chat feature which is there with Preplaced also. So we discussed and changed the timings accordingly. So that set the tempo of right time wherein we can have the sessions. And the sessions were like, first was a follow-up, first few 15 minutes if I'm not wrong, yes, used to be the follow-up of previous session. Remaining was that session what we had planned for, and it ended with what are we going to plan for the next session. So it did cover the entire journey of previous and next session in a common session itself. So that's how the entire plan went. And at the end, he did take my mock interviews. So he did tell well in advance that on this day this is going to be your mock interview, and be prepared. And that's how, he used to give me a questions in that was towards the end of the mentorship, like 4 to 5 sessions before. He started giving me questions which will help me in understanding what is going to be in the interview. And at the end, he had own set of questions with the background and reference of whatever he had given, and that's how he made me prepare.
Amazing. Amazing. So after going through this mentorship and getting guidance from Saumya, working on your skills and improving it, when did you start applying for interviews, and how was your journey there?
Whilst I was going through this mentorship sessions, I was applying for jobs.
Okay.
I did tell you about him referring me to a couple of people. So he did that. He did push my resume to a couple of places when the openings were there, when he understood that. And I did get a few of the referral calls also, but those did not work out later on. And we did speak on those lines also during the mentorship sessions, so that he knew that whatever we are preparing, is it being accepted in the industry? What is the course correction that we do? And that's how it helped him also to better orient in entire plan. So I was sending my resumes out from initial phases itself, rather than before coming here to Preplaced. I knew what is not being accepted there. That's how it helped him to correct. And then subsequently to this also, after completion of this Preplaced mentorship program, also I was doing it. And he was in touch with me. And finally, when I cracked an interview, I did tell him that this is where I am being settled now. So he was there throughout, not only for that duration, I would say.
How was your interview experience? Like, which companies did you interview for, and how did the interviews go?
I did give many interviews. I would say it's not to name a couple of them, but I did give almost like 40-50 odd interviews.
Okay.
Because acceptance for a veteran is a big challenge. So I did hear many no's, and that is not the right profile. This is not what we are asking for. Many things were there. But constructive ones, I would say I have around 5 to 10, and which did at least lead me to second or third rounds. And finally, 3 companies were there which were leading me to final rounds, and me choosing one.
Okay. So which was the company, and how was like an interview at that company?
So presently I am in Wells Fargo.
Okay.
And as senior scrum master, which is an AVP corporate title role. And I would say that this journey, he was there during this Preplaced mentorship program. He was there, and Wells Fargo, it started during our interaction phase itself. So he was in touch with me, and he did tell me to prepare about various aspects also, Saumya. And in this interview process, I did go for around 3 odd rounds, and which was like having a neutral panel, then a manager round, and lead the person who is already working in that team. So the rounds were around 3, and then an HR round, and finally deciding on this company.
Great. So now I have a couple of short questions, like you can answer them in 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Okay. One things that I would like to ask. Number 1 is, what is one insight or advice given by Saumya that was like really amazing or transformational for you? Just one piece of advice.
He told me to present in an altogether different way. I did never do that way, and that was completely new to me. So yes.
Got it. So, if you had to give a thank you message for your mentor in just 30 seconds, 60 seconds, you will cut out a video clip and share it to him. So, any message that you would like to share with him?
Surely. First of all, a big thank you to Saumya Dey, because of him I was able to uh, be there for this transitioning journey when the results which I faced outside was not very happy, and then the search of mentor was there, and lucky enough that I found him. And in this journey I would give a big thanks to him, because he was coming from the same perspective of a project manager, and he knew what is required out of a project manager. My search for going to the corporate has started during that time itself, so I feel that he was lucky to me also. So a big thanks to him, and he's in touch with me. I am happy that he remains that way, and he's very down to earth, he's very humble, and he takes that pride of being a mentor, and always has his ears open, and he is really sharp guy. You'll not be able to keep away any of his thoughts. Whatever he wants, he gets into it. So thanks for being there. And for all the people who are watching this video, I'd say that if you have him as a mentor, you would be having an edge in the same domain, and do choose him. He's really good.
That's an amazing message. Quite sweet of you. So, next question is, what was the first thing that you did when you get your offer letter from Wells Fargo?
Because I'm married, first thing I would say to my wife for sure.
Okay.
And
So how did you celebrate it?
we had our own ways of celebration. There was a lot of movement when I was doing the entire transition. I was there in a different place, and then I was coming to a place. I was taking a leave, and there was completely jam-packed plan of mine when I was doing this transitioning. I was there in Chandigarh, then I came to Mumbai, then I went on leave from there to Hyderabad, Bangalore, then again went back to Mumbai. So I had too many things running around. So we did enjoy during this phase of and with our near and dear ones, our parents who were there around. So they were also happy, because a transition from defense to corporate is not that simple, or not that easy. So for them also, that rest was there, that okay, I'm moving to a company and the name is already there, and they were also happy about it. So this was much more of personal and near circle celebrations, I would say, and we were happy together celebrating it.
Great. Finally, I would like to ask you, like, if you were to share one piece of advice for all the people who might have a similar journey, or people probably who are looking to switch their domain and watching this video, like, from your experience and from your journey, what one piece of advice you would like to give to them?
So if that one piece of advice would be that if you are trying to search a mentor, I have already told you what is the name. It's Saumya Dey, right? And if you want to have an experience out of that PM book, and you are searching for project manager, he's the right guy, because he has his experience in and out in the same domain. So do choose him. And yes, project manager is a good role, so people can switch to it.
Amazing. Yeah. So those were the questions I wanted to ask. Do sort of recommend Preplaced to any of your friends. We are a startup trying to help as many people as possible. So that would be amazing. As well as it was wonderful talking to you. Congratulations again from my side. It was amazing that we as a Preplaced team were able to help you.
Thank you so much for the Preplaced team also for coming out with such good platform, and people should try. It's really good. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Okay, Sainki. Have a wonderful day. It was great
My
talking to you, and thanks for taking out time as well.
Thank you.